I am here at the center, as it's known. It's so fabulous. It's got a great history with the wonderful
Laura Dunn.
Tell us about yourself and why we're here together talking today.
Well, I'm running for Congress in NY-12. We were in the race together back in 2025, and I'm a civil rights attorney. I've drafted and passed federal law, worked on rulemaking committees, advised White House task forces under President Obama, even clerked on the Senate Judiciary under Patrick Leahy. And then I went on, founded my own national nonprofit, used that to sue Donald Trump in his first term in office, and that was to protect against civil rights rollbacks. So I'm here because this is an extension of my advocacy and my work. I want to make our democracy work for us again, and that requires me to step out of the courtroom and into Congress.
And Laura, what is the number one issue you're running on? I know that's hard, but the top issue for you and for your voters.
Accountability. I want to be known as the accountability candidate. So that's congressional term limits, Supreme Court term limits, ethical standards to the Supreme Court, ending insider trading by government officials. I think we're losing faith in our democracy because corruption is at the highest level and we're seeing the impacts. I think we have affordability crisis because of an accountability crisis.
Well, what surprised you the most about running for Congress in New York 12? What's been the hardest thing about it, or maybe the most fun?
Yeah, I'll give you both.
Okay.
The most fun is definitely being in the public, as interesting as that may be. I am approached at least once every single time I'm out every day getting out the vote by someone who hates politicians, like literally can't stand them, is frustrated with the party. They kind of come up a little blustery, and then I just talk to them and they realize that I'm a human being that actually cares a lot. Great. And I restore their faith. So that actually makes me happy as well and makes me remember why I'm doing this. But you know that there's some not so fun parts of it as well. And for me, the whole focus on money just really doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it's because I'm originally from the Midwest. Money is not as big of a deal there. But for me, I thought it would be about leadership. Who has the right qualities, who has the right platforms. And here, if you have the money, that speaks for you. And that's unfortunately.
Right, and it's killing our democracy.
Yes.
Not just here, but nationwide. Yes. But maybe especially here.
Well, I feel like people follow the trends out of New York City, so we can change that trend here.
I like that attitude. Now, what's the number one thing you want voters to know about Laura Dunn?
Ooh, I would say the thing to know about me is I didn't come to politics through a normal route. So I've been very public about being a survivor of campus sexual violence. That really turned my world upside down and kind of broke the vision I had of this world, but it opened my eyes to systems that don't serve people and all the oppression and barriers that are put up. And I've been fighting against that ever since, first sharing my name, face, and story, and then becoming a lawyer, actually being the person that goes into the courtrooms to get justice for other survivors like me. So I think that makes me very unique in a world where people run for a million reasons. I run because I don't want anyone to suffer what I've suffered.
And I have to ask every candidate one really hard question.
Yeah.
So bring it on. Here is yours. Can you win?
I think so. There's 30% of undecided voters. And if you think about it, we have very high profile candidates here. Jack Schlossberg, George Conway, they're grabbing all the headlines. We also have two local favorites, Michael Lasher, Alex Borez. They're soaking up all that super PAC funding, and yet 30% of people haven't picked them. So that gives me hope. I know in February I was rising in the polls, and that made me pretty excited. And we haven't had an independent poll since then, but I'm curious. I'm curious to see if I can get past that 5% mark. That puts me in the debates. And I know on the debate stage that people will know who I am, and they will see why I'm running.
So you're a for real candidate?
100%. I'm not doing this for my profile. I promise you out there, campaigning is not fun. I don't enjoy this. I'm doing it because I care deeply about our democracy, and someone needs to step up and show courage when everyone else in Congress is showing cowardice.
What is the best thing about living in New York City? What do you love the most about New York 12?
Yeah, I was thinking about this morning, and when I first moved to the city, I remember I was house hunting, and I was kind of miserable because I was looking at boxes. And I walked into a park and there was just world-class musicians playing for the public. And I have the pleasure of being near Central Park. I walk all the time. I find three-piece jazz bands, and it's literally the best music I've ever heard in my life, and it's free to the community. You can obviously stop by and tip, and I always do. But the fact that that's just available, it just blows my mind every single day that we have such talent everywhere around the corner.
And free on the street, busking
Yes,
for us.
Exactly.
Well, Laura Dunn, I am so delighted to speak with you.
Thanks for having me.
Tell folks when to vote.
Yes, well, June 23rd is primary day. Early voting's less than a month away. It starts June 13th through the 21st, and people can go and find out more at LauraDunnForCongress.com.
LauraDunnForCongress.com. Thank you so much, Laura Dunn.
Thank you.